Manchester City and Manchester United meet in the FA Cup for a second straight year. But only one side can come out on top at Wembley. It was City who emerged victorious in this fixture a year ago.
İlkay Gündoğan scored the fastest goal in FA Cup final history as he broke the deadlock after just 12 seconds. Bruno Fernandes pulled one back for United before half-time with a much-needed penalty.
But Gündoğan was at it again as his 51st-minute strike secured a 2-1 win for City, who went on to complete a historic treble. Read more in FACUPWEMBLEYWAHEY. Meet partners of cup rivals Man United Man City, including Prem's hottest Waygard card. City United fans to use different routes to FA Cup final amid fears of clashes this time. There is no Champions League final to follow for Pep Guardiola's men.
Yet they have already wrapped up a fourth successive Premier League title. And the Etihad club will be desperate to make it a double with more glory in the FA Cup after beating Chelsea in the semis. As for United, there is even more at stake. Most read in football, TUCH and Go Tuchel frontrunner for Man United job and joins axed Pochettino on shortlist. Greal deal. Bayern Munich lineup sensational swoop for Grealish under ex-City star company. Free agent forgotten former England star wakes up unemployed aged 34 after H's released. Checkmate. Major European Cup final descends into chaos after fans storm pitch and fight. Best free bet sign-up offers for UK bookmakers. Erik ten Hag's side finished 8th in the Premier League, their lowest ever position.
It means they missed out on a place in Europe. Jack Grealish is helped out of bar at 5 a.m. as Man City's wild celebrations continue into the night after record title, but if United win on Saturday, they will bag a Europa League spot at the expense of Chelsea, pushing them into the Conference League and leaving Newcastle empty-handed. Victory could also save Ten Hag's job, while defeat would surely spell the end of his 2 years at the helm.
And confidence won't be too high after United almost crashed out in the semis with a nervy penalty shootout win against Championship side Coventry. What is their form like? Removing their penalty shootout defeat to Real Madrid, Man City have not been beaten in 90 minutes by another team in their last 35 matches. They are on a 6-game winning run and confidence is high amongst their squad.
As for United, they ended the season with wins against Newcastle and Brighton. But before that, they suffered defeats to Crystal Palace and Arsenal, with their defence looking particularly vulnerable. SUNSPORTS Transfer News. LIVESTAY in the know this summer with the Sun's transfer experts.
Man City and Newcastle are both targeting £60 million rated Pedro Neto this summer, according to reports. Aston Villa are reportedly close to resigning Ross Barkley on a permanent basis.
Arsenal want to sign a new striker before their pre-season tour. Follow our live transfer blog for all the latest deals, gossip and exclusives. Team news. Man City are set to have a near fully fit squad for the FA Cup final.
The only confirmed absentee is Ederson, who suffered a fractured eye socket against Tottenham, it means Stefan Ortega will go between the sticks. While Jack Grealish and Nathan Ake are expected to be fully fit. But City have little other concerns with all their other players fit.
Meanwhile, United are hoping to welcome Harry Maguire back to the fold after injury. There is an outside chance Luke Shaw could see some action, while Anthony Martial, Victor Lindelof and Mason Mount could pass late fitness tests.
But Terrell Malaysia will miss out, with the left-back not scheduled to return until July. Star Man City can strike from anywhere at any time. But it's hard to see Phil Foden having a quiet game after being crowned Premier League Player of the Year.
As for United, they too have some dangerous options. Yet Bruno Fernandes will be their talisman once more. What have the managers said? Pep Guardiola: I start to think about no one has done 4 in a row, why don't we try? And now I feel it's done, so what next? FA Cup.
Gary Lineker told me that no team has done back-to-back Premier Leagues and FA Cups. What I want is for my players is to enjoy 2 or 3 days and then we have 2 days to prepare the final, but right now I don't know what exactly the motivation is to do it next season, because it's difficult to find it when everything is done.
But knowing the players and myself, I know that when we are there we will say, why should we not win today? Why should we not work as much as possible to do what we have to do? And I know we are going to do it. Erik ten Hag: it's fantastic. A cup final. Such a great event. As a kid, you want to take part in this and get a look at it.
Everyone is really excited to lift this cup. We still have a good opportunity. Going to the final is a huge achievement, and if you're in a final you want to win. It's all about trophies and we have an opportunity to lift the cup. It's all about winning trophies and, as a result of it, we need to be in Europe and it is our last opportunity.
Sun Sports prediction: United always get themselves up for derby games against City. But with a double on the line, the Premier League kings have to be favourites. Erling Haaland will surely fancy his chances against United's rickety backline.
And the Red Devils may even struggle to score after their recent woes. Final score: Man City 2 Man United 0. Why Man United must win FA Cup? Erik ten Hag says Manchester United must pay back their world-class fans with an FA Cup triumph after their awful league season, writes Tom Balke. United came 8th, which was their lowest ever finish, despite winning 2-0 on the final day at Brighton.
They also came away from a miserable campaign with a negative goal difference, but still can win a trophy when they take on Manchester City in next week's cup final. The away fans roared themselves hoarse just as they have done all term despite the poor results.
Boss Ten Hag said, "We have the best fans in the world and I mean this. I have never had this experience when you have a season like us. which is by far not good enough, that the supporters are with us. They are with us in the bad season, and in bad times they are there. I think also they know why the bad times are there.
But we have to pay them back, and we have to do everything to give them a trophy next week, but also for the future, we have to perform better. United won thanks to late goals from Diogo Dalot and Rasmus Højlund. But for the second game running, Højlund began the match on the bench as United opted for a false 9, in a hint over how United will set up in the cup final.
That was how they played in March's 3-1 defeat to City at the Etihad in the League, too. Ten Hag added, "It's a luxury problem. Both formations can be a success because we can set up like we did at the Etihad, where we were a threat with movement in behind.
But of course with Rasmus Højlund in this form it's absolutely a consideration and a thought that we have to consider. You need not only 11 players in a tough final but a bench as well." Højlund's tally now stands at 16 goals in his maiden season after the 21-year-old arrived from Atalanta for £72 million last summer.
Reflecting on the Danes' campaign, Ten Hag observed, "It could always be better, but don't forget he had 3 injuries this season. He came in with the injury, missed the start, then he got injured before winter, and then he got injured after winter.
So every time that broke his rhythm, and if you then shoot 16 goals for the first season it's okay. And it's not over, we have to play the FA Cup final. When is Man City vs Man United? Man City vs Man United will take place on Saturday, May 25th.
Kick-off will be at 3 p.m. British Summer Time. Wembley Stadium will host. What TV channel is Man City vs Man United on, and can it be live streamed? Man City vs Man United will be broadcast on both BBC One and ITV1. You can live stream the FA Cup final for free via the BBC iPlayer app or the ITVX app.
Alternatively, you can keep up to date with all the action by following Sun Sports live blog. What are the odds? Match result: Man City 3/10 draw, 9/2 Man United 7/1 to lift the trophy. Read more Sun STORIESAIR. We go first. Major UK airport to scrap 100 ml liquid hand luggage rules next week. ISLE. See you soon. Love Island sign hunky footballer who's friends with show legend. Man City 1/7 Man United 9/2 odds courtesy of Paddy Power and are correct at the time of publication.